Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Young
and the Wise.
Of course, it is your girl, Nina Simone.
And Felicia D.
All right, and today, y'all know we get into it every week, but I think this one, this one, I feel like it's going to be a really good one. Today, we're talking about parenting across generations, and that comes with like lessons that have been passed down, how parenting has evolved, because we all know that parenting is different now. And just some different things of like how values shape the kids nowadays and the different generations. So we're going to get into that. But of course, we always start with a nice little icebreaker to get us nice and loose. And so today, basically, it's just going to be finish the phrase. So a few phrases that, you know, or maybe not even phrase, but just trying to basically finish what I'm saying, right? So here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You kind of... Yeah, you ready? Let's go. All right, so we say the cat in the
hat.
All right. This or
that.
Fight or
shut up.
No, mama.
Oh, okay.
You don't know. Fight or
sit down.
Yeah. Y'all know, fight or flight. You never heard of that?
School. No, man.
You never heard of that?
No.
Oh, wow.
Say fight or sit down somewhere. That's for old school.
Okay,
yeah. No, ma'am. I've never heard of that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's new. Okay. I learned something.
Yeah, that's fight or flight.
Okay.
What's another one?
That means get out of here. Same thing means like shut up. Sit down, boy. Or whoever.
Wrong or
right.
Okay. Right and
left.
Okay. Up and
down.
That's okay. I really can't think of nothing else. Can you? Barbie or
who? Or doll. I mean, that's the only thing I know about Barbie. Barbie or...
Oh, no, there's a different kind of doll too, mama. Barbies or, you know, the other kind of doll.
Cabbage Patch. Was that a dog? Cabbage Patch? Barbie or...
Bratz.
Oh, the Bratz.
Bratz.
I should have known that was us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. Bratz. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh!
Well, you
because
know, we didn't have
when
you grew up, you had it, but we didn't have that.
Yeah, y'all didn't have it.
No.
But you bought it for me though. You bought me
the Bratz,
the Barbies and the Bratz.
I think your room was the Bratz.
It was the Bratz. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so that's really all I got. I don't know if you can think of any.
No, I can't.
Yeah, because that's kind of hard, huh?
Yeah,
you got to be able to kind of like be creative with it. Okay, so you guys, we're gonna try that with your friends too. See if y'all can come up with some different things to say, because that's all I had.
You never really realize how fun and stuff like that is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It makes you think.
Yeah, because you be thinking like, let me go buy a board game, but that's like stuff we be doing like Christmas and stuff like that, Thanksgiving
and stuff with the family.
Board games, stuff like that be fun.
Yeah, so let us know some little like phrases or things that y'all can think of in the comments, because I can't think of any more. That's strange. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get into
rich or poor.
Yeah.
No, yeah, rich or poor. That's a good one.
Now you got me still.
Big, little.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that.
Like opposition, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, y'all. So on to our topic, parenting across generations. All right. Mom, you're going to set the scene for us, okay? So I want to hear your perspective on what parenting looked like for you as a kid. So as a kid, what was the parenting styles that you were brought up with?
Beating that ass. If you did,
I knew that was coming.
Look, you know how they say meet me on spot? That's how we were disciplined. So wherever we got in trouble at was where we were disciplined at. We would have to go out. I mean, there ain't nothing like knowing you're gonna get a whooping. Okay, and you got to go out and get your switch. You know, if it's a grandma, if it's your mom, they may make you go out and get a switch. Mm-hmm. But your daddy make you go get the belt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So back for us, it wasn't all that talking. It wasn't all that 1, 2, 3. It wasn't all that type of stuff. Yeah. It is you got in trouble. If the teacher say you were wrong, the parent in the neighborhood say you were wrong, you got beat down right there. And sometimes if it was the mom, you might be in the bathroom naked, falling all in the bathtub.
And know? So this was a norm back then.
Oh, yeah, it was a norm. Yes, you could. It was even such a norm that if you had a neighbor and they knew you well enough, and you did something wrong, they could tap you across your behind.
Ooh, and the parents wouldn't even care.
Parents wouldn't even care. You could be at school, you get in trouble, you go to the principal's office, you're going to get paddled 3 licks.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
And, of course, this generation, they ain't doing that.
Oh, no.
And I'm wondering, where did that start? Like, because, okay, so your parents were coming up to the school, right? And if y'all got in trouble at school,
I got whooped at school.
Whooping at the school. And I'm trying to figure out why that stopped.
It stopped because children got smarter. Okay, so what happened is, we used to get whooped at school or get whooped at home, and you go to school, you may have scars on you because you're light skinned, you may have this. You didn't go to the principal's office or to your counselor and say, my daddy whooped me, look at these scars, or my mom whooped me, look at these scars. You didn't do that.
Yeah.
Now kids are smart enough to know, like, okay, if I go and say that just because they're angry with their parents, not thinking what the repercussions could be.
Yeah.
They could go and say, like, look at this here. My dad did this to me. Or my mom did this to me. CPS is knocking at your door.
Ooh.
They're trying to take your kids. So that it stopped because a lot of parents were afraid of if they did discipline their kids, what may happen. But my daddy did not.
Yeah.
Because people tell my dad even back then, but it wasn't as prominent as it is now. Like, man, what did they call Stan or call this on you? My dad said, come take care of them. If you're not gonna take care of them, don't say nothing to me. I'm gonna discipline my kids.
The way I feel like I need to.
I need to.
Because you always say, what does the Bible say again? You always tell us that. I know it, but I want you to say it.
But I always say
the Bible.
Spoil the rod. Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yes.
So you spare that rod, you spoil the child. And as the parent, you're responsible for that. Because in the Bible, they was beating. In the Bible, they were taking care of business.
They was doing a lot.
You know what I'm saying? Spare the rod, spoil the child. And we've gotten away from that. But yeah, that's why a lot of parents now are kind of afraid to discipline their kids because they have to deal with that. So I think that's why parents have kind of stepped away from that.
Okay, that makes perfect sense though. I can see why you're saying that. Now, in that sense, though, what are some other disciplinary tactics maybe that your mom or dad used? Like,
we probably wouldn't be able to go outdoors. We used to go outdoors, or we wouldn't be able to, let's say, the weekend was coming up. If we're at a certain age and kids want to kick it, we wanted to get out, we wanted to go here, you couldn't go. You want to punish me. We couldn't use the house.
And they stood on that.
And they stood on that. Yeah. And how y'all have the cell phones? We had our house phones. Yep. We still use those. We used to be on 3-ways, honey, on the phone all day long. But you're not touching that phone. You know what I'm saying? But you're not getting the phone. You're not going to any events and stuff that you want to go to. It's strictly business. School, wherever you got to go, you come home. So if you can't have no little fun at school while you're on punishment, then you're just done. But they would take all those other things away, and they would actually do it. They wouldn't come up with reasons like, well, you got to have your phone, or you got to have this because you got to go to school.
An excuse.
You got to be able to get in contact with us. Things that you all could use as excuses. They stood on business. You're not going to do this. You're not going. Boom. There's disciplinary things that's going to happen. We're gonna follow that, and you are too.
Yep. And so with that being said, our generation, so for those that are watching that are in my generation, I grew up with seeing that same parenting style that she's talking about. And I do think I'm going to carry that through. I know I'm going to carry that through whenever I have kids, because I just feel like, okay, yeah, it sucks having to whoop your child, or, because you didn't like it.
No, you didn't like it. You did not like it at all. But let me tell you, when I knew I had to, your brother, D'Antonio was probably 4, maybe 3, 4 years old.
Smart.
And I had something on the table. And I told him, I said, D'Antonio, I said, babe, don't touch that.
Yeah.
Right? He kept touching. I said, don't touch that. I'm thinking he's little. He's barely in a little pamper, so I'm not going to bother him. I'm just going to tell him, babe, don't touch that. He had the nerves to act like he was going to touch it and then look at me. And I said, did I take? And he looked. Looked at me
like it was a game.
Yeah, like it was a game. I said, oh, no, sir. I got up and I started tapping her hand. So kids are smart enough to know at an early age.
Yeah, because he was
right
young.
Or wrong.
Yeah.
Stop. No. They know. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started like, you know what? Talking to him wasn't going to stop him. He was going to continue to do that as long as I kept saying, stop, D'Antonio, stop, babe, stop. No, he was going to keep doing that until I showed him like, oh no, when I say stop one time, That's what I mean.
Need to stop.
You need to stop.
Yeah.
You know?
And now with like I was saying, I'm gonna carry that through with my children because I just think that it's been effective in the way that they've been able to raise me and my brother, right? And I've seen it in real time being around we're around younger kids now. Well, we've been for a while with the track team and stuff. We see how them kids bad. Some of them bad. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of them don't listen, but I think it stems from, the gentle parenting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a new thing now though.
Yeah, that's new.
Because like you said, parents don't want to get in trouble now.
Right.
So I think that's where that comes from. Or even when I was at the Boys and Girls Club, them kids did not listen.
Did not listen to you.
Not the first time.
Right.
Now, if you said it a bunch of times, or you had to raise your voice, like sit up a little bit, so they took you serious, then it's like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like now let me do what I'm supposed to be doing. But like, I'm just trying to. I guess it explained it. You explained it that that's why they don't do it the first time, because you have to have some sort of like authoritative.
Yeah, you have to have a fear. And it's not, you don't whoop your child for fear. You don't want them to fear you.
Yeah,
you don't want them to, you don't want them to.
But the respect.
Right. But you do want them to know that there are consequences for decisions you make. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we can try to talk. Some instances you may talk. Mm-hmm. You may just sit them down and you may talk to them. It may call for that. For that sometimes. Sometimes it may call for pulling that belt out and tapping that behind. Sometimes it may cause raising your voice. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it may take taking things from them. There's multiple things you can do to discipline a child. It's not always whooping them. So we're not saying like my parents always whooped us. Yeah. But there were certain things we knew if we got in trouble, we were going to get our behinds beat. It was just nowhere around.
Now, saying that though, what are give us example. Okay, so if you got whooped, what's a good example of why you got whooped?
Talking back to a teacher at school.
Okay.
My parents didn't play that. If the teacher had to call from school, our only job was to go to school, get our grades, and do what we were supposed to do. If a teacher had to call because I'm running my mouth in class, trying to act like I'm the teacher,
or class clown,
yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, I knew what I was gonna get. Or if my dad and them told us, I need y'all to make sure this stuff is done before we get home. Mm-hmm. He got home and everything they told us to do, we procrastinate, playing around. Yeah. Everything still left the way it was. Okay, I'll tell you what. I told you I want this done. I've been gone for 3-4 hours. You had plenty of time to get this done, but no, you're going to do it on your time. Okay, go there and give me a belt. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Instances like that.
Like that.
My brother went in the store and stole a toy. One of my brothers fell. Every time he came out the store, you had to check a bag. Oh. You had to check him, make sure. Because he wanted to take him little cards or whatever, tapped up and take it back in the store.
Oh, you know wow, yeah.
So, instances like that.
So then, okay, give us an example of like if you got your phone taken away, why would you get the phone taken away? Was it something minor?
Like the phone, not being able to talk on the phone because we didn't have cell phone.
Oh yeah,
we had
not being able to talk.
So not being able to talk on, it would be little stuff like didn't clean up the kitchen like you're supposed to as soon as you need to. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Maybe your mama say something and you have a little attitude. You know what I'm saying? Cause
little stuff. But still respect. Still like a form of disrespect.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she tell you to do something, you kind of snap back. Yeah. You know how y'all do now. And we weren't like that. We weren't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we still had some of the same flaws that y'all had. We had the same thing. You know, it's all a part of growing up. Yeah. So they would take the phone, stuff like that, doing stuff like that. But then there may be some times where like, okay, you had to take a test. And you knew you had to take a test. You really didn't study the test. And you wouldn't have made a C on the test if you studied, would have made an A. So they take that stuff from you.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I know you were kind of the same way with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm trying to think back on a time where like maybe because I didn't really get a lot of whoopings.
No, you were scary. Yeah. So you didn't get.
I was scared to get a whooping. Okay.
You didn't get a whole lot of whoopings.
I'm trying to think of a time I may have. Well, with Papa, he whooped me. And you guys, like a quick story time. So I got a whooping I was with my brother and my older cousin. And then it was me so it was 2 guys and 2 girls. My brother, my older cousin, and then me and another older cousin of mine, but she was a girl. And me and my cousin, the girl, we just sitting there, you know, having a good time watching my brother and my guy cousin on the bed jumping around at my granny's house. They on the bed jumping, kicking it, right? Having a good time. And me and my girl cousin, we over there like, ha, 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 laughing at them or whatever. Not even on the bed. Not on the bed or nothing. We just laughing. I guess we're co-signing, as Papa said, right? And he came up in there. He gave us all a whooping. And we, like, me and my girl cousin weren't doing any, we were not jumping on the bed.
And that's the difference from old now. So like old school is, if it was a group of y'all and somebody did something, everybody's gonna get in trouble.
Guilty by association.
Because, right, what they were trying to teach us to hold each other accountable. So if you know he's over there doing something he's supposed to do, but you still over there, and y'all kicking it, and y'all allowed it to happen, didn't come tell nobody, everybody got a whooping.
Because we knew he shouldn't have they shouldn't have been jumping on the bed.
Right. Whereas the new parenting is kind of like, I didn't do it, he did it. You know what I'm saying? He did it.
Yeah.
You know, although you watched it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't say nothing. You watched it happen. Now it's kind of like he did it,
yeah,
and that person gets to whoop it, and that other person just more of a snitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas we all got it. So that's why my dad was like that. Yeah. If one of y'all did something, you saw him jumping on the bed, you should have left out that room and brought your mind downstairs and came and told me, or either got out the room so I'll know when I came in there, just whoop those two.
Yeah.
But because all y'all was in there kicking it.
And none of us wanted to snitch, of course. So it was like, because you knew the cousins were going to be like, you a snitch, you a snitch, you know. So you didn't want to hear that. So now you got to reap the punishment of not going and snitching, okay? And that goes in like a real life scenario. I mean, if you at the wrong place at the wrong time, you know what I'm saying? Like,
almost all your whoopings that you did get,
it was
from being with them. When we whooped you, it was mainly because it was your whole group.
Like, dang.
Yeah, everybody was there.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Well, you was
there. You didn't come tell us. But I didn't want to be a snitch, y'all. But, you know, and I'm not condoning snitching, but in some situations, y'all, especially the ones where it's like a danger to your life or anything like that, you need to go ahead and snitch. I'm just saying that right now because, you know, what people say, you a ride or die wife, right?
Right.
But it's just like, if daddy did something just crazy,
you're going to ride by yourself. You're going to ride and die by yourself.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's just certain things
I'm not going to do.
Some things you have to snitch on.
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay? And I'm a ride or die too because I get it from her. But for my future man, there's just certain things I won't condone.
Yeah.
Okay? Anyways, that's all off topic. But that was a good little rant. Okay, so now story time, right? We're going to do a lesson from each from both of our generations.
Okay.
So I want you to share a specific parenting challenge that you may have had. Either it could be a challenge that you dealt with your parents or a challenge that you've had in your parenting, like with me and Bae.
Figuring out as you grow and you get to a certain age, ways to discipline. Because the same thing that worked when you were younger, it's not going to work now. You know, so same thing that I was doing when y'all were 15, 16, when y'all turned 18, 19, I can't really pull a belt out on you and just do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was figuring out ways to actually discipline you all, but at the same time teach you. So that you understand that while we were doing these, although you are doing this stuff, you may not understand it now, but later on you would. So it's just figuring out ways to discipline you without going back to the same old things that we used to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that doesn't work. As you reach a certain age, there's certain things we have to do. Because now we have to kind of listen more. As you get to an older age, it's more of us listening more to you all than actually just putting a fork down. You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, when you get older, you don't make those same mistakes. Anyway,
they're different mistakes. And they're different challenges. And a lot of them now at your age are learning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's not like you'll whoop us for that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going through the motions. You know?
And we're going through together and figuring it out together.
Yeah. So talking it through instead of like the whole forceful sort of thing.
But now there is sometimes when I will be forceful, even at your age.
Like what?
If I see you slipping and you doing something that I feel you better than that. You know what I'm saying? Accepting certain things from guys or just not going down the right path. I'm telling you, hold up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell your brother that, even at this age, you You still, because you all are still
learning.
Yes, because as parents, what I've noticed is that once, and I've always listened over the years, a lot of parents feel like once you turn 18, you're grown.
Then you're grown.
That's when your child is really doing most of their growing up.
The vulnerable moments.
That's when the challenges are there. And so if you let go then, that's why a lot of them go off course. A lot of them commit suicide.
Man.
A lot of kids mentally challenged on drugs because we let them go out there in the world and you all are still babies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not little babies, but when you get out to that, you're still growing. You're babies. There's challenges. So I didn't let you all go. When Antonio was in college, you were in college, we talked every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Every day, because there's different challenges that you all are going to go through and experience that you needed to have somebody in your ear. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You had to know that somebody was in, because just think if there's times you didn't have us to talk to. Or your brother didn't have us to talk to.
And he was in Cali. So he was far away.
Yes.
Yeah, I can only imagine how.
Right, and just feeling like we say, oh, they grown, they okay now, they do what they want to do.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. That's when the biggest life lessons I learned.
Yep, and then to have heard him, kind of talk about what he was going through while he was so far away and didn't really tell anybody. But luckily, you talking to him every day. Every day, was probably what helped him hang on.
Yeah, every day.
So I definitely understand that, and even me too. When I was I wasn't as far away, but
you were away. You were hours and hours away.
Hours away from home, and I'm dealing with my little situations or whatever, and it's affecting my mental health at the time. So but talking to my parents every day did help, and even though it was some things that I didn't want to hear at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that helped. So as far as a tip of advice that I could give to parents, is to just really, as a child, you know what I'm saying, as a younger child, I would say, really listen to them, because they do tell you, kind of like what they're going through, and there's always a cry out for help at some point, as a child, and I think some parents miss it.
They miss it. And be present.
Yeah.
You have to be there. You have to, you have to be there. You won't know, you know what I'm saying, if you're not present.
If you're not, yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I could be in the bed asleep at night. It could be in the middle of the night. And someone would wake me up. And I would call one of my kids.
Yeah.
I would call one of y'all, be like, what are you doing? What y'all doing? Mom, it's midnight. But you were on my mind for a reason.
For a reason.
You know what I'm saying? And just pick up that phone sometime and call at that time of night. I would find out, you were going through something.
Yeah.
So it's just being present, being there, listening, watching, observing what's going on with your kids.
Yeah. For sure. And as far as me, I could say a lesson I've been learning from my parents for now 26 years, right? So soaking up all that I can as far as parenting styles, and some things may be different whenever you know what I'm saying? Whenever I have to raise a child, because I don't plan on having one anytime soon. So, things may change with time. But there's things that I've picked up from them and learned from them that I'm definitely going to use on my children. And I feel like I'm trying to highlighting the differences and similarities in like the generations
the
of
difference
parenting.
is now like social media.
Yes, that was one that I had listed here too, because social media does affect the mind of
Big
children
time.
now. So it's like that can also affect their actions.
Right, and so we didn't have to deal with that. Mm-hmm. We didn't have social media, so we didn't have all this that you all have. So that's why they say parenting is a lot different now. So as a parent, you have to step in and you have to say, okay, you're only going to get so much of this social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At this age, you don't need it. Phones. I think some kids are too young to have phones.
Okay, because how old was I when I had a phone?
You got yours pretty young too.
I did. I will say that.
But at that time though, things weren't as bad as they are now.
That's true. Yeah, and we only had a little flip phone. We couldn't get on social media. You have all of that. Yeah, for real. But now they have the apps on the phone that, and children are now on YouTube watching some crazy stuff at a young age. Don't even know what they watch.
And pedophiles, you have people out here that will prey on these little kids. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know. Give their address out, give their names out. And even also another thing that's different is the games. Like You can
Video
talk to
games.
people all over the world now
Yeah.
with video games. So you have your kids that play these games, and they're playing with people all over the world that they don't have a clue who they are, and they're connecting with them and talking to them.
Yeah. Building a connection.
Yes.
And they could end up playing the game with this person every day, and then that, you know, like the person over on that side of the world could be saying like, yeah, you know, I think I like you. You know, just starting to kind of.
And that's why you have so many kids now coming up missing, so many kids leaving because they're meeting
These people.
on social media and different things like that. So that was stuff we didn't have to deal with.
Yeah, so that's definitely a difference in the generational.
Big difference.
Yeah, because y'all, the parenting, like y'all didn't have to deal with that, right?
Right.
And your parents didn't have to deal with worrying about social media, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Or making sure y'all were off social media. Y'all didn't really have to worry about that either because we didn't. I mean, we
wasn't as
had
bad. We had it, but
MySpace.
yeah.
You know, but Facebook,
y'all really didn't use it like
we didn't
that.
use it.
Yeah, you didn't really use it.
But now, as far as like, you know, me, if I have a child, I'm gonna have to worry about
You
that.
got to worry about that.
I'm gonna have to sit them down and make sure that they're not on this device
It's so
all
different.
day.
So different.
And then, you know, having to censor whatever apps they can use, because you can do that now.
Yeah.
Like where you can lock. No, you can't. It'll like you don't have access to this app, so no, you can't get on that
Yeah.
app. You know what I'm saying?
And another difference is back in the day with us, neighbors. So you had a neighborhood full of people who all knew each other.
Yeah.
So you knew everybody's child,
Yeah.
and everybody knew everybody in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So if you see a stranger coming up in the neighborhood,
Oh, okay.
there was no.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
we don't know you. Get away from our kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, or if something happened in the neighborhood, you can pick up the phone and call the neighbor and say, "Hey, look, this is going on. Get the kids in the house, or you know, call the kids
Something's
in. Or
off.
this is going
This
on."
look off. Yeah.
Right now, we don't really know our neighbors. People never really talk to their neighbors now. So kids
That's
riding
true.
up and down the street now, somebody can pick up a kid and you wouldn't even know
Yeah.
because you don't know if that's their parent.
Yeah.
You don't know who it is.
Yeah.
You know, so that has changed. So now you really don't even want to let your kids out. With us, we wouldn't let y'all out unless we were outdoors. So if y'all were riding your bikes up and down the street, we were out.
Yeah, y'all were.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And with that being said, you know, we see kids walking home from school
Yeah. Little kids by themselves.
by themselves. Y'all, when I say they're young, they're young. There's like a elementary school or something around here, and they're young. They're like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Walking home. And I find that mind blowing because I'm just like, you never know what, like, there's people, somebody's watching. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's always somebody watching.
Yeah.
So to see that, oh, this child is always walking home from
Yeah.
school, you know, all they have to do is pay attention.
Yeah.
And your kid isn't paying attention, of course.
Right, 'cause they're
you know,
kids.
they're kids. They don't know, you know, so I find that fascinating, honestly. That
That's a difference.
That's a difference too.
But we
because-
used to be able to walk around our neighborhood like that.
yeah, because you said you didn't have to worry about all that.
Because growing up like that, everybody knew everybody in the neighborhood. You back in each other's houses. You running back and forth each other's house. You know, you have one house in the neighborhood. So most people like they're our age, we all grew up like that. You knew everybody in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
So, because y'all didn't let us walk to school.
No,
Why?
because for that very reason. You know, as you all were growing up too, we knew our neighbors, but we didn't know people in the surrounding areas. You know, so things that started to change as you all started coming up. Kids were being picked up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It started getting where that was happening a lot more, you know. So you had to be safe and be careful with who your kids were around.
Yeah. When I say she wasn't going for that, and now she definitely ain't going for that. I'm 26 years old, y'all. And she still be like, you don't need to be out here by yourself.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Mama, I am grown.
That
Okay?
don't mean
And she
nothing.
doesn't care. She doesn't care at all. And I do see what she's saying. Of course, I'll be like, you're over exaggerating. But no, there's been plenty of stories where 26-year-old women or even older women
Leaving Walmart
are getting
for somebody's
snatched
phone.
up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's almost every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. So I do see what she's saying, and you know, now I am more like cognizant to walk out of like the studio with other
Yeah.
people, or
Yeah.
if I have to go to the gas station from the studio, I'm not going by myself, and
Yeah.
you know, just making sure that like there's a guy with me or something, or not even a guy, but maybe a group of girls.
Yeah.
We go together because, like she said, though, this is crazy out here. So I do advise, you know, you to make sure you're staying safe out here. And that's not even just on your parents. That's not your parents' job. You know, all they can do is just tell you, like, hey, you know, I think you shouldn't be out here by yourself, and what you choose to do, that's on you. But I do think that that's a great parenting tip too, is just, you know, making sure your kids are safe, feeding them the right information, basically. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't really be knowing what's going on out here in the world, because, you know, we don't watch the news for real.
And that's different.
That's different.
That's different, because that's a different thing. Parenting, as far as that, you have to let kids know what's going on. And then now, you know, we can send our kids. We used to be able to go off to school, baby, you know, and have a good time. Parents knew all the teachers, knew the kids, you know. We used to be able to go to school, and it was school, you know. And now you send the kids off to school, and you just worried when you drop them off, like, Lord, keep them covered. You know, because we don't know.
That's,
you know,
a lot.
It's a lot.
As a parent that has, like, you know, a child in elementary school, I know that's a lot.
Yes.
And I mean, even at every school, you know, middle school, high school, because it can happen anywhere. Right. But, you know, like, to have to drop your child off to school, that's so, I know, y'all didn't have to deal with that.
No, you didn't have to. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I mean, like, it's different, you know. That's why I say you have more mental health now. And then you have bullying, you know. We do a lot of bullying.
Bullying,
if it wasn't no bullying, you gonna fight. You know what I'm saying?
So your parents used to encourage that.
Yes. If they bullying you, stand up to them. Yeah, but the only problem now is that's another parenting thing. You used to better tell your child, if somebody hits you, you hit them back. Now it's not like that. If somebody hits you, you may win or you may lose, but they may come back the next day and shoot you.
Ooh, you're right.
So now there's a boundary in the line you have to tell your kid to cross, because at the same time you can't be just punked and picked on and pushed around. But then at the same time, if you defend yourself,
you could risk.
What's the risk of that?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You know, so all these things as a parent, you have to think about, you know, because your brother, he goes out. At 7-on-7 games, you know what I'm saying? And people fussing and arguing with each other. And then, you know, you've been taught, like, stand on business. Stand your ground. You know, if we got to throw blows, throw wigs, let's do that. Then we go home. Whoever wins. But it's not like that. You do that now, and the person come the next time you see them, and
that's scary.
So you have to, you know, scary. Now is where's that line at, you know?
And now that gives me something to think about, as, you know, when I'm about to raise my kids in the next few years. I'm like, what would I tell them? So that's why so many kids are, you know, coming back now. They're being bullied. You know what I'm saying? And then they commit suicide.
Or they come in and they shoot people because they're being bullied, you know, and you don't know how to really deal with that.
Yeah, because y'all never experienced that.
Never experienced that.
Wow.
You know?
That is, that is a great like discussion topic. Let us know what y'all think about that, because I never even thought about it like that. And I'm like, dang.
I think about that with my grandkids. I think about that even with us as adults, you know. We be out sometime and people do things, you know. And you know, we back from the hood. What we gonna do? Right. You know, because we're not the type that's gonna pull out something. You know, if we have to defend ourselves, we're just gonna throw blows with the hands and, you know, be out of breath and all that stuff after it and go home. You know, but the mentality now, you just don't know. You know, so how do you teach your kids? You know,
and okay, so you said something about grandkids, right?
Yeah.
And you know, so how do you plan on, you know, parenting your grandchildren? Same way, pretty much?
Same way. As far as like disciplining them and stuff like that? Oh, same way. So I'm going to have my first grandbaby, Omri Saint.
Not for me. No. Let's make that very clear.
And if Omri Saint is at my house and he's running around and doing stuff he's not supposed to do, Omri Saint going to get tapped. Because I'm going to show Omri one time how you're supposed to act.
Yeah.
Because what you do with me is what you're going to do with other people. So I got to teach you, if you respect me and you respect your parents, you're going to respect authority. So if I send you to somebody else's house, I don't have to worry about you trampling up and down their stairs, tearing up, jumping on their furniture, all that, because I'm not going to allow it here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's how you did us.
Yeah.
And that's why we were well-behaved kids at anybody's house. You know, we didn't ask for much either. That's another thing. I feel like now kids nowadays, they'll come and open your fridge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, that's different. You know, to see. It's different to see because I'm like, my parents would never let me come into my house and open the fridge.
Another pressure too is back when we were growing up, name brand wasn't so important.
Oh, like Jordans and Air Force and Nike.
Right.
Yeah.
So now the problem you all have is all this expensive stuff, but you can't afford to pay for it.
Ooh, hello.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everybody.
Yeah, right.
So you start these kids out young and you're buying them all these expensive things. So when they get older, they can't deviate from that.
That's all they know.
That's all they know. So they'll lie, cheat, and steal to get that.
And you're not, I guess you're saying that the parents aren't teaching them to live within their means.
Live within their means. Like you all. Y'all have a bunch of name brands?
No, not at all.
Baby, we were quantity. It was over quality. I mean, it looked good. Don't get me wrong now. But they would wear 4 or 5 different pair of shoes in a week. It was Shaqs. You know, because people come to my son and be like, oh, you got on them Shaq shoes. So you know what I told my son? I said, well, when you go back to school, right? You got a different pair of Shaqs every day. You got on these whatever else is every day that we bought for Payless that look good. But I want you to tell me how many times your friends wearing their shoes if they wear different shoes. And he came home and told me for a whole week, Mom, they wore the same pair of shoes. I said, now you see what I'm talking about? I said, baby, it is quantity right now. And when you get blessed enough where you can buy name brand stuff, you do that.
Yep.
So to this day, you all are not even into name brand.
No.
You can afford it.
Yeah.
I can afford to buy it for you all now. But you all are not into it because
why?
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It does nothing.
I know from my own nephew who right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's into name brand stuff. And I'm trying to tell him, like, son, first of all, you're putting pressure on your parents to get that. Secondly,
pressure
you
on
can't
yourself.
on yourself because you can't afford it because you're worried about peer pressure and what other people are wearing. You know, and I'm trying to teach them that. So as a tip that I give parents is, I know you may be able to afford to buy the kids all these things, name brands, $120 shoes, all this. Ooh. You may be able to buy them all these things right now. My suggestion is get them the quantity, but looks good. You can still get quantity things, but with quality look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then as they get older, they can start buying, you know, and then I may go to like a Ross or TJ Maxx where they do have a little name brand t-shirt that I can get or shoes that I can get. Maybe when they come on clearance.
Hello?
That's a challenge right now for parents. I see that all the time. Kids will not, I don't even want to buy kids gifts no more.
Yeah, because you like, they won't appreciate it.
Yeah, because I'm going to go over there to TJ Maxx or something, get you a nice, cute outfit.
Shein, Temu.
Yeah.
We finna go on, I'm going on the cheap sites, okay? I'm sorry, because what am I finna go buy Dior for?
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I mean, it's cool. It'll be nice to walk around in a cute little Dior, whatever, shoes, purse, whatever, right? But it's just like, why?
But if you don't have it, you're okay.
I'm okay.
But that's the pressures that kids are having now. To have to feel like they have to fit in because somebody say, "Oh, you wear these type of shoes." Who cares?
That doesn't make me.
That does not define you.
Yeah. That doesn't change who I am because I'm wearing. I mean, unless you allow it to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't allow the name brands to change, like, you know, to make you feel like you're superior,
right.
You know, you can allow that to happen, but you don't have to. It doesn't define who you are as a person.
So there's so many differences and things that parents are having to deal with now versus us. Baby, we put on a pair of bell-bottom shoes, bell-bottom pants, thick jeans, and think we cute. You know, we'll cut a hole ourselves. Y'all talking about going to buy jeans for $50, $100. They got holes in it. Baby, we cut our own holes in our jeans. Yeah. They got old, and we, you know what? We cut our holes in it.
Yeah. I definitely, that's something I'm going to instill in my children too. Yeah. Because I'm like, don't be out here expecting me to be buying you $300 pairs of shoes. You know what I'm saying? That's honestly ridiculous anyways.
Because you're growing so fast and you're growing out.
No.
But those are challenges that, you know, that's the stuff that's going on now, unfortunately.
Yep. Y'all. I know, right? It moved fast.
Yeah, it moved fast.
Well, you guys,
It's a
that's
great
kind of,
conversation.
yeah, because we could really keep going.
Yeah.
You know, we can probably do a part 2 one day. But that's all we really have time for today. We're going to do a part 2 eventually because we can really go deeper.
Yeah, really go deep
this.
into it. But just a piece of advice that I can give. I'm not the best parent. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still on a journey with my children as well. But I just suggest that, like I said earlier, be present. Listen to your children.
Yeah.
Watch their surroundings. Watch who they're with. Teach them you don't get anything for free. You have to work. You know, nobody's going to give you anything. You know, and like I said, just be present in the moment and be there for them and discipline them. I believe that spare the rod, spoil the child. You know, there you have to take disciplinary actions, you know, and whether that be the belt sometimes, whether it be sitting down talking to them sometimes, you know.
You got to raise your voice a little bit.
Right, you have to do that. And, it didn't hurt us.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't hurt us. And I used to be so mad at my parents, but I grew up saying, wow, I am so glad my parents were on me like that. You know, pay attention to your kids' school stuff. You know, now we didn't have the flexibility of being able to go online and see what their grades are.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah,
next.
see if they're
we're
missing
gonna
classes.
continue.
You know, see if they're not at school. You know, you have access to all these things. Use all those things. You know what I'm saying? Check and see what their grades are, so that teachers will know now that you are concerned.
That you're involved.
Yes, teachers will call back in the day with us. Now they don't, because they feel like if you want to know, you'll call them.
Yeah.
You know, so be involved. Take advantage of all the things that technology is giving you. There is some positive things that technology is giving now. Take advantage of all of that.
Yeah. I agree, because I was going to touch on that with her next. So we'll do a part 2 for next week. But as a child, you know, because of course I'm not a parent yet, so I can't really give too much advice on parenting. That's why I wanted to hear from her mainly on this episode as far as parenting goes. But yeah, as the child, I would just say, like she said, just listen to your child, because I know that that's one thing that has helped me in growing up, with them just being present, them showing up. You know, even at the football games, basketball. I'm not a football player, but you know, basketball games, soccer. They were there. You know what I'm saying? So just being present, your child is going to love that, and they're going to admire that. You know what I'm saying? And remember that. And remember it. Yeah. So that's the biggest takeaway that I would say for me regarding parenting. And if you're looking for advice on how to be maybe a better parent or learn a little bit more, that's definitely going to help your children. So, yeah. Well,
I love this episode. I mean, this is probably the best one to me, because, you know, we can all learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that this is something that it's a big issue.
Needs to be discussed.
And it needs to be discussed. We're losing our generation.
Oh,
and if we don't, as parents and as get with kids and try to mend this, we're in trouble. You know, for
the future, for generations. Yeah,
it's not good right now.
Yeah, you guys,
and get them active. You know, the last thing, get them active. Idle time is the devil's time. So if your kid is in the house on a game all day long, that's devil's time. Get them out. Get them in some sporting activity. Get them doing something positive where they're out and they're acting, they're using their mind, they're using their gifts and their abilities. Get them out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Agreed. Get them doing things that are active and positive, and that's going to sow into them as they grow. You know.
All right, you guys. Before we have to go, let us know if you want a part 2. If you want us to continue this, let us know in the comments if you have any questions.
Well, we're going to do a part 2
anyway. Period. If you have any questions for part 2 or anything like that you want us to touch base on, or you want her to answer some questions as far as parenting goes, let us know in the comments or in my DMs on Instagram at @NinaSimone_, and we'll gladly answer those in the next episode, and you know, talk over those, discuss that. So we look forward to next week and a part 2 for next week, and thank you guys for tuning in as always.
And my favorite, I
did it too.